Juan Mendez Scott's Pool Party. Chapter 9. Nothing would ever be the same. The night continued to wrap around us like the heated, suffocating blanket it was, heavy with humidity. The party was still in full swing, the music pounding through the speakers, the laughter and chatter of my classmates filling the air. But my mind was a dark, swirling storm, the alcohol fueling my anger and frustration. Chris and Leona's engagement was a cruel joke, and I was the punchline. I downed another shot, the burn doing little to numb the pain. I needed to do something to take control of this mess. My eyes landed on the table where the drinks were set up. Among them were a few wine coolers, the perfect cover. I grabbed two of them, my vision swimming slightly. My hand trembled as I spiked the drinks with the small vial I had bought earlier, my movements clumsy but determined. Satisfied, I approached Leona and Jenna, forcing a grin. "Hey, I got you guys some non-alcoholic drinks," I said, holding out the bottles. Leona's eyes narrowed slightly, but she took the bottle. "Thanks, Ace." Jenna giggled, taking her own bottle. "Thank you, Ace. Baby, you're so sweet." I watched them take sips, my heart pounding. Leona looked so beautiful, her hair still damp from the pool, her skin glowing under the lanterns. As the drugs began to take effect, her movements became sluggish, her eyelids heavy. "Jenna, you want to dance?" I asked, slurring a bit. "Sure," she said, setting her drink down and following me to the makeshift dance floor. As we danced, I kept an eye on Leona. She looked confused, trying to shake off the drowsiness. She stood up, wobbling slightly, and made her way towards the house. My heart raced as she stumbled, her steps unsteady. She veered towards the pool, her movements slow and disoriented. "Jenna," I said, urgent. "Something's wrong with Leona." Jenna turned, her eyes widening in panic. "Leona!" Leona teetered on the edge of the pool, then fell in with a splash. My stomach dropped. I ran to the pool, Jenna right behind me. We dove in, the cold water shocking me into a brief moment of clarity. I reached her first, grabbing her limp body and pulling her to the surface. We dragged her out, laying her on the ground. Jenna was screaming, her hands shaking as she tried to help. I started mouth to mouth, my mind racing. "Come on, Leona. Breathe," Jenna said. What the hell happened to her? She was up and alert. Her face was pale, her lips blue. I pressed on her chest, my hands trembling. "Don't do this, Leona. Please." But she didn't respond. Jenna was sobbing, her tears mixing with the pool water. "Ace, do something." "I'm trying," I shouted, my voice breaking. "Come on, Leona. Come on." But it was no use. She wasn't breathing. The reality of it hit me like a freight train. Leona was gone. The party around us had stopped, everyone gathering in a horrified circle. The music was still playing, a grotesque contrast to the tragedy unfolding. Finally waking up from his car, Chris burst through the crowd, his face a mask of panic and disbelief. "What happened?" "She fell in the pool," I said, my voice hollow. "We tried to save her." Chris fell to his knees, cradling her lifeless body. "No, no, no. Leona, please, don't leave me. Come on now. Leona, come on." The mood had shifted drastically, the fun turning into a nightmare. The atmosphere was heavy with the smell of chlorine and fear, the sounds of sobs and whispered prayers replacing the laughter and music, and classmates running around in circles dialing 911 on their phones. I stood there, drenched and numb, my mind a chaotic mess. Blake approached me, his face lit. He whispered, "Ace, what did you do?" I couldn't meet his eyes. I gave her a non-alcoholic wine cooler and she just fell asleep on us and fell in the pool. Probably hit her head or something. I don't know. "We're calling 911 now," Jenna said, crying, her voice shaking. "We need to get help, we might can still save her." But it was too late. The reality of it was setting in, the enormity of what had happened crushing me. Leona was dead because of me. I had wanted to make her see Chris's flaws, to show her that she was making a mistake. I wanted to smash Leona behind Chris's back, make her my permanent side piece. But now she was gone, and there was no fixing this. Chris looked up at me, his eyes filled with a mix of rage and grief. What the fuck happened to my girl? I'm sorry, I whispered, my voice breaking. I'm so sorry. She looked like she was getting tired and sleepy. She must have slipped and fell in. But sorry wasn't enough. The weight of my actions pressed down on me, the realization of what I had done sinking in. This wasn't just a mistake. This was a tragedy, and it was my fault. As the sirens wailed in the distance, the reality of the situation settled over me like a shroud. Leona was gone, and there was no bringing her back. The storm inside me had finally broken, leaving devastation in its wake. And as I stood there, watching the chaos unfold, I knew that nothing would ever be the same again.